Hello everyone and welcome to another top 10 countdown video with me, Dimensional Raven now, I guess. Anyway, today we'll be looking at my top 10 favourite cards from the Yu-Gi-Oh set Metal Raiders. Now, Metal Raiders has long been considered one of the greatest sets in Yu-Gi-Oh's history, with good reason too. I mean, it's got so many cards that define the meta game for years after its release, like Heavy Storm, Solemn Judgment, and it also introduced the counter trap mechanic, which are basically, as they suggest, traps that counter other things. So it's actually the largest non-reprint set to date with 144 new cards. But today I'm only interested in my top 10 favourite ones, plus a few honourable mentions of course. So let's begin. At number 10 we have Moenfen. Now let's just get one thing straight. Moenfen is a terrible card, with an attack stat of 1550. If he was a level 4, he certainly wouldn't be bad. After all, Skull-Red Bird from the previous set shares his attack value, and was useful as a beta for no tributes. When you factor in that Moenfen requires 1 tribute, you quickly realise this card isn't exactly good. But does it have a decent defense stat like Occubeam that could make it usable as a wall? Absolutely not. It's stuck at a pitiful 1300. Moenfen is undoubtedly the worst 1 tribute monster ever, as it has no support at all around it. Hell, at least Eitsu is summonable but via Nova Summoner or Shining Angel, and in conjunction with Koitsu it can make a solid beta. In contrast, Moenfen has nothing going for it. Yet why can't I stop loving it? I just find something ultimately endearing in its artwork. It may be an awesome land shark with razor fins and creepy slender arms, but there's something morose and undeniably sorrowful about its design. I just end up feeling empathy towards it, and due to this I've grown rather fond of it over the years. At number 9 we have Heavy Storm. Now this card is an absolute game changer whenever it's used. There is just so much power within this single card, no wonder it's banned. With field spells and 2 pendulums on your opponent's field, you could potentially dismiss up to 8 of their cards with this unparalleled destruction for no cost. It doesn't ask anything of you, nothing you need to do to use this monster for utter annihilation. Players loathe the opponent using it, yet at the same time love to draw it and use it themselves. It's too powerful a card in today's climate, just for how easily it can sweep away so many cards without a fear of counter. But who knows? Maybe someday the storm shall live again. Probably not, but who knows. Until that day, I always have the older Yu-Gi-Oh video games to allow me to utilize this amazing card. At number 8 we have Launcher Spider. Now this is a bit of an odd entry considering I absolutely despise spiders. I actually had to go to counselling to get over my fear of them when I was younger. But for some reason I just can't help liking it. I mean, it's just a movable rocket launcher which is so cool that scuttles around just blowing things up. With an attack stat of 2200 for 2 tributes, this wasn't that bad as a common. Sure, many stronger 2 tribute monsters existed, and even stronger 1 tribute monsters existed, Summon Skull. But this card offered budget players a solid beta that could trample over a lot of things, especially in playground matches. Its use by Bandit Keith in the anime was awesome too, as he's long been one of my favourite characters in America. So yeah, that's why I love Launcher Spider. I just really can't put my finger on it, but I just love it. Ah! Oh, Launcher Spider, you're so funny. Love him. At number 7 we have the baby dragon. Oh, such dragon, much kawaii. Oh, that's pretty much all I have to say on the subject. It's an adorable little cuddly dragon that has charming flavour text, and with time wizards can evolve into the mighty Thousand Dragon. Oh, and it was one of Joey's best cards in the anime, so there's no reason for me not to love it. And I've also got a very little cute figure of him as well. Oh baby, love him. At number 6 we have Shadow Ghoul. Now, I love this kind of gimmick. It potentially can be a really solid beta, and one of the most powerful monsters in the game if you play it kind of properly. Stall a while setting the grave up with many monsters, bring him out for 1 tribute, and his attack can shoot up massively. Sure, it required a lot of effort in the day, but with light swans or other decks that love the graveyard, this card can be fun as a tech beater. Okay, maybe not. I mean, it doesn't have any additional effects that kind of makes you plus inherently, but it could have been more useful if its base attack was a bit higher, maybe 1800 or 1900, and maybe getting a attack boost based on your opponent's graveyard as well. Aside from the really unique effect it has going for it, the artwork is amazingly creepy. A giant green shadow creature with bulbous red spots or eyes all over its ghostly and surprisingly limber body. Add to that it has at least 4 legs, look in the background, and it becomes the creature that nightmares are made of. Perfect. At number 5 we have Soul Release. Now this is the only card on the list that is actually highly playable today and isn't actually banned. It's a great card for the current meta that I keep in all of my side decks because it's useful in nearly every matchup. Most decks utilise the graveyard completely and have effects that trigger when they're sent to the graveyard, or can interplay and retrieve cards that are in the graveyard, some of which can really screw the opponent over. With Soul Release, you can just banish up to 5 of those problem cards, and then you won't have to deal with them until the next draw. No cost, just don't like those cards in the graveyard, banish them all! And additionally, it can even help you if you're running like a different dimension deck or something. As all in all, it's a great card, and I really love playing it. And number 4, it's the Let's Do the Time Warp Again Yu-Gi-Oh card, Time Wizard. So let's boil it. But it basically boils down to it's Raigeki in a monster, or at least it is half the time. It's a cult favourite card that can either nuke your opponent's field or nuke your own field and inflict burn to yourself. It's the very definition of risk reward in Yu-Gi-Oh, and is supported by cards such as Second Coin Toss that allow you to conduct an additional coin flip should the first backfire. Endlessly satisfying to pull off successfully and dispatch your opponent's field. Time Wizard has a lot going for it. Plus, it's very easy to get out with Shining Angel and works nicely in Arcana Force builds. As well as this, it is able to fuse with the lovely baby dragon to make the aforementioned Thousand Dragon a strong beater. Its design is awesome too. A comical, cartoony clock man in a top hat and cape. It's just endlessly satisfying and charming. And yes, I do have a little figurine of Time Wizard. So cool and so comical, really is. Number 3 we have Thousand Dragon. Now the fusion between 2 of my favourite cards, Time Wizard and Baby Dragon, was always going to place highly in this list. More so that Joey used it in the anime against Mai, even more so because I actually own the card in its original rarity from Meta Raiders. Anyway, it boils down to this. It's an awesome boss card that looks amazing in the secret rarity that I own. Of course it's going to be one of my favourites. I'm not mad. Or am I? And here he is, the Thousand Dragon himself. Roar! Oh, also note, I also have a little figurine of Joey, so I do like him a lot as a character. Yeah, as a character. At number 2 we have Solemn Judgment. Now picture the scene. The opponent summons a monster, or maybe even activates a spell or trap. You have Solemn set, chain it. Solemn Judgment says fuck right off. There's no way I'm letting you use that card. It's a brilliantly designed counter trap that I sorely miss being playable in the advanced format. In my opinion, paying half your life points for one card in a meta of countless OTKs is completely fair. I currently see no reason that could stop it coming to at least 1. It's a firm favourite amongst many players of the game, and its legacy lives on with the other solemn counter traps that have been released intermittently since Warning and Scolding. But this is the father of all of them, the progenitor counter trap against which all other ones are measures. At least in Starless Accelerator, my favourite Yu-Gi-Oh video game, it's still at 3 and I can use it for days. And now we come to the honourable mentions. 7 Tools of the Bandit. It's a usable counter trap card today that blocks traps for minimal cost. Karibo, cause who on earth can resist that cuteness? So cute. Labyrinth Tank, cause it's a friggin' tank and looks amazing, and it's purple. Princess of Sarugi, because it's a solid burn card and still vaguely playable. And finally, Guilty of the D Knight, because it's an awesome looking fusion monster and definitely wants the D. At number 1 we have NumberThree. Now I expected that nobody guessed that this little bird was at number 1, and you'd be hard pushed to get a reason from me exactly as to why I love this card so much. But here goes. Okay, picture the scene. Zexal has just begun. Ziz monsters are all the rage. That's how they're spelled. I know you might say they're called Exceed, but from my knowledge of the English alphabet, when it's XY, it's Z, as in xylophone. Anyway, okay, so Ziz monsters are all the rage. Little old 15-year-old me wants to reminisce with the older normal monsters. So I get a load of them from the earlier packs, as well as using effect monsters from newer sets, and begin to compose a game with them, where a detective and crime-fighting agency of a few select normal monsters help to try and save their forest from the evil that has been disturbed. Dark times are coming in the Yu-Gi-Oh world, and can the weakest of the weak find the strength to stop them, as well as find out what happened to the members of the previous team? As secrets are divulged and pacts are broken, only 5 stand in the way of utter chaos and destruction, desperately hoping to protect the world and return to the normality that characterized their youth. But even as these 5 take up the mantle of heroes from bygone eras, there is disunity and disloyalty in their ranks. One will do anything to achieve power. One wants peace in our times. One wants the ladies to swoon over him. One wants a return to the simple pleasures of our forefathers. And one just wants a pizza. And NumberThree, predictably, is the guy that just wants a pizza. He just wants a good time, is all he's after. And through that game that I played out on my bedroom floor, a deep affection grew for all those predominantly involved in the story. The other key figures will appear in later countdowns, and NumberThree is no different. A flightless, over-bloated bird. For some reason he was just perfect in the game, offering witty commentary to otherwise bleak moments. The game harkened back to a more childish time, and through my fresh memories of it, it makes me feel young again. NumberThree is part of a window into a nostalgic time when I was able to fritter away evenings playing card games in my bedroom, instead of the harsh regime of revision that now punctuates my every waking day. I even began writing it down in an episodic format, but I didn't get too far. It's very personal to me, and whilst I would like to tell the plot to someone one day, for now at least I want to keep it mainly in my head and in my memories. That's the deck that I use just because I love NumberThree, and it kind of works to some extent. It's not that good, but lots of traps, good fun. If you want to read the first chapter, that's be up there, let's say. And if you want to read the accompanying thing, that will be there. Hopefully. Now, as per usual, let's show off the cards. We're going to do it slightly different order today because I think it's better just to show honourable mentions first, to be honest, because they're not even in the top 10. So, yep. So, 7 Tools the Bandit, lovely card. Labyrinth Tank, slightly falling to pieces, but it's still playable. Guilty of the D Knight. He wants the D, by the way. Little Kawebo. There's a pun on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Which series going because he's little Kawebo. So cute. Princess of Sarugi, solid burn card. Now onto the actual top 10 cards. Modern Fen. Love him. Heavy Storm. Got millions of these because they're like in all of the structure decks ever. So that's him. Launcher Spider. Look at those rocket launchers. It's so cool. Baby Dragon, which I've got 2 of, 1 super rare from the reprint in Joey's World Legendary Collection. Pretty nice shine to it. There we are. All that comes out beautifully. Shadow Ghoul, bit hard to see, there's a Shadow Ghoul in the shadow. So you see, there we are. Okay. The Soul releases the one in the sleeve is a super rare reprint from Secret Forces. I only bought one from Secret Forces because I only need to always show 3 anyway, so I only need to place it. Let's do the Time Warp. Time Wizard, beautiful card. 1000 Dragon, or as I know him, Dragon Millionaire, because I got him when I was in France when I was like 4 or 5. Legitimately, I bought 2 packs and pulled Dragon Millionaire in one, and just love it. But he's so amazing. Like, just, by the way, his materials are Magician du Temps and Bebe Dragon, like Flabebe Dragon. That's cute. Anyway, off topic completely. The Solemn Judgment Brigade. First one is from Light Sanctuary, and there's my one from Gold Series 5. It's a lovely gold Ghost Rare variety, and to be honest, that is the main reason I want this card to come back, just so I can show off having this card in my deck. It's just so pretty, and I don't like it being in one of my binders. I really want to play it. Plus, I mean, it's not too good in the current matchup anyway. Half your life in a game when you're just gonna die on 1 turn anyway. It's fine to come back. Really, it is. Nuatori, the lovely fat blubberbird, who I just adore so much. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. So this is Dimensional Raven signing off, as it were.